Hi, I'm Kaleigh. I'm 20 years old. I accidentally friendzoned my true Prince Charming. So, you know how anime characters announce their special power as they wield it? Well, I feel like if I were an anime character and I had a special attack, it wouldn't really do anything helpful. I'd probably scream something self-deprecating like, "Choosing wrong guy, make me cry!" The truth is that I don't know where I'd be without anime. It came along at just the right time when my mom and dad were fighting a lot. It all started with this kid, Morton. I remember he used to wear these really bright shirts at school with these cool cartoon-looking images on them. And then I saw him drawing his own characters. And he was working on this really lit series he was calling the Zombie Amigos, and it was so imaginative. So Morton's parents were splitting up, and he said he'd rather make up half-dead ghouls than deal with that real-world drama. Things at my place weren't better, so I was able to relate. As I got older, Morton and I made all our friends at the comic stores and conventions. Anime seemed to be a world unlike anything I'd ever seen. Some kids made fun of us, but Morton would just shrug and just say they didn't understand the infinite imaginative possibilities that anime had to offer. Hanging out with my anime friends helped me become more confident. We'd get together and have Miyazaki movie marathons, and sometimes we'd host our own cosplay parties. And I even got an after-school job at the comic shop downtown. Morton and I hung out all the time, but when he found out I was going to be moving away for college, he said he was going to come with me. But I told him that probably wasn't a good idea. And that's when he flipped out on me and confessed his love. I had no idea, but Morton had been pining for me since we met, and now he was telling me that I was his one and only. It all surprised me, and I tried to explain to him I didn't feel that way exactly. But Morton just accused me of sentencing him to the friend zone and locking away the key. Things were awkward until Morton apologized. He said we were probably better off as friends, and it wasn't fair for him to drop that bomb on me. That fall at college, I met this really great guy named Stan, who ended up becoming my first real boyfriend. Stan was so charming. Everybody loved him, including me. When he asked me out, I couldn't stop giggling. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel like an outcast. Stan would take me to all these fancy parties and introduce me to his fancy friends. But Stan didn't really like me being such close friends with Morton, which I kind of understood. When I mentioned it to Morton, he was bothered, but he just backed off. And I guess Stan became more and more of an influence on me. I tried to introduce Stan to the beauty of anime, but he thought it was also childish. I didn't think it would be a big deal, but there were a couple times he asked me to change my clothes before meeting up with his friends. One time, he even asked me not to bring up anime anymore. And because Stan was Mr. Popular, I ended up canceling Comic-Con that year so I could go to all of his stupid parties. I liked meeting new friends, but I missed my peeps and how they understood all my quirky ways and all of my manga references. But Stan and all of his friends were trying to act so grown up they couldn't just relax. Or maybe I couldn't relax. I really have no idea why I didn't just tell Stan to buzz off. I guess my secret weapon scream should have been, "I'm so desperate, I'll stay with you!" But then Stan found out I had given my Comic-Con ticket to Morton, and he accused me of being disloyal, and then something really interesting happened. I was explaining to Stan that I had never seen Morton as anything other than a friend, but Stan was so insecure, he convinced me. He pointed out everything we had in common, and how I couldn't stop smiling when I tell a story about him. And I guess I realized he was right. Maybe I did have feelings for Morton. I finally had it, and I put my foot down. I told Stan if he wasn't willing to live in part of my world, he could hit the road. And he did. Immediately, I felt a weight off my shoulders. I couldn't wait to call Morton and get back to the things I loved and cared about. I didn't care what he said or how immature we seemed. You know, it's true what they say. Birds of a feather flock together. I learned that Stan liked me when he had his way, but that was it. And even though he was my first boyfriend, there were plenty of guys out there who would appreciate me, like Morton. What do you guys think? Should I take him out of the friend zone? Give us a shout in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more hidden wisdom stories. Remember, when you share our stories, you're sharing wisdom.